Hello, family. I'm Janaya Future Khan, and this is Dark Woke. Just before we begin, I want to say thank you to all of our listeners out there, and I want to give a special shout out to all the supporters of the show. It really means the world to me. If you'd like to become a supporter, our Patreon will be linked in the write-up below. Okay, in this episode, we are talking everything to do with Taylor Swift's latest album, The Life of a Showgirl. I need to tell y'all something, okay? I need you to think about how huge the cultural shift has to be. That I'm talking about this album on Dark Woke and this Taylor Swift. I don't even know if I've ever mentioned her on this show at all. But I have to say, when it comes to Taylor Swift's latest album, Life of a Showgirl, the white on white violence online has been peak chef's kiss. White girls are going in on white girls. We're talking, right? Lululemons on Lululemons, okay? We're talking explosions of glitter and spice. Like this is wild. And I'm going to just say, black people, we've been sitting in the cut like this. Well, guys, this isn't news to us. We've been in this spot. And here's the thing. This cultural shift is happening because so many of Taylor Swift's fans can no longer buy into her brand of hyper-individualistic, perpetual white girl victim feminism. Point blank, Swift's brand is at odds with the developing social consciousness of much of her fan base. And why, you ask? Because learning is addictive, right? For many, we became radicalized in around Gaza, around Palestine, right? And it continues to be the site of radicalization for this generation, right? And if you're spending any length of time online, you know that we're living in the backdrop in America of an authoritarian landscape, right? Black and brown people, women, trans folks, homos, the disabled, and everyone in between. We are all on the chopping block. Got a government in shutdown right now. We're getting tossed in the meat grinder so that the already insanely wealthy can get a few more bucks, because that's what it is to them, right? People's entire livelihood, their sense of safety, is just a few more bucks for them. The Trump administration, backed by the GOP and the corporatocracy as a whole, is just one major billionaire grift. And for some Swifties, Taylor Swift's latest album is no different. Let me cook. Okay? Because look. The issue isn't simply, well, you guys, capitalism equals bad. No. I want to be clear about something. Taylor Swift is not singularly more responsible for the ills of late stage capitalism than anyone else. No. What the problem is the shameless way her business model continuously tries to extract more and more money from her fan base by pumping out more and more products, regardless of its economic or environmental impact. All right. We're going to talk about the white shit in a second. I just need you to peep this. Okay. Remember, this album was written, if you could say that it was written at all, okay, while she was on the Eras tour, right? What did the Eras tour make? Around $2 billion, right? She's good at making money. But let me cook. I need to break down to you what I mean when I say that this is about extraction and exploitation, all right? This is leading up to the album release. Upon announcing Life of a Showgirl, a vinyl goes up on Swift's site, right? It's ready for pre-order. And then another one, and then another one. And then before the album was even released, she promoted and sold at least 8 exclusive vinyl variants in different colors with different names. I do have to tell you the names because I just... Sweat and Vanilla Perfume Edition. That's one of the names. Baby, that's Show Business Edition. Okay? So what I'm saying is this is a systemic problem on 2 fronts. Okay? That also came with 8 CDs and 1 sweater, which comes with a CD. The vinyls cost $34. The CDs cost $20. The sweater and CD combo cost $70. And one of those was a Target exclusive edition. Okay? Don't forget Target. The marketing scheme around any and all of these releases, which by the way came one after another, right, was met with really urgent, scary language like, they're going to sell out. You will never have another opportunity. Hurry, show your love and devotion. Those are actual quotes. So Billboard estimated that on the first day of release, from just the pre-orders alone, Swift sold 2.7 million copies of the album, both physical and digital editions, right? When she announced the album on the New Heights podcast, she promised that the album wouldn't have any bonus tracks. She said, it's done. Babes, it's done. That's what she said, right? Because here's the thing, her usual model, she sells the album and then asks her fans to buy it again to access those extra songs. Isn't it starting to get a little bit weird? You know, is it okay? But I'm going to just keep going. In the podcast, she once again said, it's done, it's done, it's done. But on Saturday night, right, the Saturday that just passed, another countdown appeared on her website. And at the end of it, she announced, guess what? 4 additional CDs of the same albums that fans could buy. These versions cost $7.99 a piece, and each of them included 2 exclusive acoustic versions of the song on the album. So I just want to be clear, okay? Let me be clear. That means in addition to the songs on the album, she also recorded 8 acoustic versions, but you can only hear them if you purchase each of the 4 CDs. Do you remember when you would be sleeping? And like back in the day, this is really for the millennials. You fell asleep on the couch or something and you wake up and like there's this like sales voice on all these like CDs where they're trying to get you to buy like Motown classics or whatever from back in the day. I can only hear this in that voice because it's so shameless and it's like sales pitch shenanigans, okay? This is wild to me. Oh, and for the record, those additional CDs, there's no new songs on them. Oh, no. Just acoustic versions just to make more money. I got more for you on top of all of that. In the 11th hour before the album's release, Taylor Swift announces a movie. And I'm like, a movie? And the fact that I know all of this, I want you to think about what this did to me all weekend. Because I did this for you, for us, which means I had to follow these things. I had to follow these things. I had to go down this Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan-ass shit show of a marketing campaign, but it's what it reveals, right? Because I understood a lot in that. I want to just keep going, right? So in this movie, this was like in theaters across the country. Just can't. So tickets were sold and it was under the auspicious name of the official release party of a Showgirl event. The thing is, you weren't really paying to watch a film. That's what I would have thought. Because I'm buying a movie ticket to watch a movie. It's going to be a film. Oh, no. You were paying to watch a single music video, right? The Fate of Ophelia, which is 3 minutes and 46 seconds long. Are you joking me? I love saying it that way. Are you joking me? Because it just gets to the point. Why is $2 billion not? Why is there so much? Why is there so much? Why does everything have a terrible name? I just want to say, after the music video, you're like, there had to be more. There was. You got 85 minutes of Swift providing commentary on the other songs and lyric videos for those songs. No music videos. Oh, no. Just, this is not a finished, polished album. Oh, no. You were just getting the lyric videos, like if you pulled up a song on YouTube for karaoke night with your friends. You weren't going to see more because then why would you pay more to see the rest as they come out? Right? Those are going to generate clicks and views. She's not going to give that to you. Her fans, the people who make this all possible, that's nuts. After the 85 minutes, right? After the 85 minutes, they played the music video again, the same one, The Fate of Ophelia. By that time, I'm like, bitch, I know what happened to the girl. We all do. So here's the thing. So Slate has a little writer, Heather Schwedel, right? Said this, right? That the whole experience on this film, that this quote, underscores that you really did just pay $12 plus convenience fees to watch one short video. Now, what's the culmination of all of this? The gross weekend for ticket sales for this quote unquote film was about 33 million. That's not including the pre-sales for her album, right? Almost all of these purchases are made by fans, and it's anticipation of what the album is gonna be, and it was fucking trash. That's the thing that gets me. I want to say it plainly. I want to say it so plainly, okay? A billionaire asked her fans to buy several different versions of the same trash album in one of the most difficult and challenging political and economic moments of people's lives. That's what this billionaire did, right? But don't take my word for it on this album being trash. Don't take pitchforks. No. Don't take Rolling Stone. No. Why don't I read to you some of the lyrics from this album so that you know why maybe it didn't do as well as you'd expect, right? There's a song named Wood. The song's name is Wood. The pre-chorus goes, and baby, I'll admit I've been a little superstitious. The curse on me was broken by your magic wand. Forgive me, it sounds cocky. He matized me, right? That's dickmatized me, right? And opened my eyes, redwood tree. It ain't hard to see. His love was the key that opened my thighs. What? Where's the revolution? You know what? Someone call the cops. This is the one time where I'm okay with it. Call the police because she stole something from. You were robbed. The culture was robbed. We have been duped and hoodwinked and bamboozled, but this just gets so much better. No. Maybe there was just one bad song, right? Maybe there was just one bad song. Okay, so let's go to this other song. Oh, Polite, because we all know in this one she's talking about Travis and his redwood tree. My nose is going red, y'all. Do you understand? Okay, this happens when I'm emotionally upset. Do you get what I'm saying? I am so upset by this that my nose is red. His love was the key that opened my thighs. Did Tina Belcher write this? Tina Belcher wrote this for sure. And by the way, her fanfic is much better. This is your queen. This is who you said was better than Beyonce. This. No, because even the Swifties are pissed off. But why don't I pull up another song? Some of the lyrics. How about Opalite? Opalite. Okay. Let's just. Okay. But my mama told me it's all right. You were dancing through the lightning strikes. Sleepless in the onyx night, but now the sky is opalite. I want to be clear because we got a lot of little online dissertations about this. And do you want to know something? Not from the randoms. Oh, no, from the Swifties themselves. Take it from the source. They've drank the nectar. They're coming from a different place of truth, right? This is in relationship to Travis Kelce's ex-girlfriends, who, by the way, were all black women. All of them that we know of, right? And we know this nigga didn't write this shit because he can't spell. He can't spell, that sweet, simple bitch. I don't think he has a single idea what's going on. They try to give him Jonathan Taylor Thomas hair. That nigga cannot pull off a middle part. Some people, and I didn't know this at the time. I didn't know this until I saw Travis Kelce try to be a white man. Some people were meant to be wiggers. That much is clear. It's very clear to me. And the wiggerdom should be furious at this. This is incongruent. He doesn't really belong there. And yet at the same time, right? So the comparison of onyx and opal and all my little stone people out there, all the folks who understand the crystals and everything else, right? It's deeper than that. No. It really just is like, oh, onyx, right? You were dancing through the lightning strikes, sleepless in the onyx night, but now the sky is opal. It's nice and shiny and glittery and white, right? It's a little bit too on the nose for me, right? But then it goes on. You were in it for real. she was in her phone and you were just a pose, right? Now, because look, if somebody were to read that little onyx opalite thing, I'd be like, that could be a stretch. It could very easily be a stretch. So I'm not going to hang my hat on that. But this right here, this shit right here, son, this is specifically about Kayla Nicole, right? This Kelsey's ex-girlfriend, she's an influencer, and during their relationship, right, there were claims that Kayla was using Travis for social media clout. Now, this was something that some of the Swifties themselves said. So it's coming from the source. Like, they are the ones telling us this, right? And apparently, this song is reportedly Travis's favorite on the album, right? Not only does that lend to more credibility about it being about him and his past relationships, because, you know, he obviously just wants to make her happy, because what I'm discovering in all of this is that she's scary. This is Kelsey's favorite song, in addition to the song that never ends. That's also his favorite song. So, you know, she's really neck and neck there. I've been told he just sings it all the time, right? Can you imagine? I just want to say, can you imagine being a whole 35-year-old white woman writing this bad? Just let me take out the white. Just 35 years and writing this bad. George Eliot, Sylvia Plath, they're all rolling in their graves. All the Bronte sisters. I'm gonna keep it a buck. There's only one word for this, right? You extract and take all this money from your fan base, just regular people, a few dumb bitches, but just mostly regular people, right? And you take and you take and you take. And this is what you offer them? One word. Slop could be in the running, but the word that I'm talking about here is greed. It's just greed. It's greed. It's greed. That's it. This was just another way to make more money, right? And I want to be really clear about something. This is not to say that Taylor Swift has never made good music. That would be so stupid. Even I know what's going on with 1989. That kind of slapped. That's not my kind of music, but it was pervasive. It was in the culture, right? It's a classic. What this does demonstrate is that her greed is outpacing any artistic integrity she ever had, if she ever had it, and integrity as a whole, right? If it was there. Because that's the thing with late stage capitalists and with fascism, right? It doesn't make art. It generates slop for the purpose, right, of production. So I make something cheaply and quickly, I sell it to the masses, and then I gain the profit from that. It doesn't care about good. It doesn't care about environmentalism or impact. It doesn't care about art, right? And this has been a breaking point for so many of them, because this is the thing. What we're seeing is the tension, right? The tension of a so-called artist who has no morals or beliefs, whose main relationship to her quote unquote artistry is, at this point, a measure of how much money can be made. That's it. It's not a measure of artistic integrity or even quality. It's how much money can be made off of it. And the more palatable it is, the more palatable I am. Oh, the money is endless. Suddenly you start looking at things with a wider view. The relationship to the NFL, right? Every single thing, every move that is made around this particular person, right? Do you remember what was that? And like, I've not been a fan. I'm not a fan or a hater. She's just kind of in the zeitgeist for me. But I remember that documentary because I have to watch everything and pay attention to everything as best I can. Well, she had a documentary in it where she was like, having a little like argument with her father because, she was a Democrat and it was about women's rights. What happened to that girl? Do you guys remember her? I don't know. You can't help but look at that and this and think, what the fuck happened? Because here's the thing, right? You're not going to have morals. You're not going to have beliefs if the point is to make your art as palatable as you possibly can, because it's about, can corporations sell it? I want to make art, the version of art that corporations like. That's who Taylor Swift is, right? Real artists, because there's only really two kinds of art. I want to be really clear. There's the kind of art that challenges the status quo, and there's the kind of art that affirms it. Let's be really clear about what side Taylor Swift is on. Real art challenges the status quo. It fights against power. It fights against greed. It's not made to generate $1 billion, right? Greed eats and destroys good work. You want to know why? Do you want to know why that is, right? I'll tell you. Because money and art have different priorities. This whole thing, the whole process, and what I've discovered in this is antithetical to artistic expression, right? Now, I want to be clear. I want to be clear because I can hear it. I'm not attacking capitalism as a whole in relationship to Taylor Swift. As I've mentioned, it is a thing that we all live in. Money is made, the powers that be, yada, 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 right? So with that, in all fairness, why don't I bring up Lemonade before one of you do, right? Beyonce puts out Lemonade around the same age, right? 2017, she's around the same age as Taylor Swift is now. And it had a film, right? It had a film too. So there's a comparison to be made here. Didn't Beyonce do the same thing, right? I'm going to just be real here. The difference is that Beyonce's fucking Lemonade is considered one of the most influential albums of all time, right? Not just influential, culture defining, because that is a once in a generation talent. But don't take my word for it. There's a 6-minute article on time.com, Time magazine, about its massive cultural impact. But I'm not just talking about the impact. I'm talking about how it goes deeper than the bottom dollar. Beyonce's Lemonade wasn't like, how much can I extract from the fans? How much can I take? Oh, no. It brought businesses, the independent, brought like serious business. It changed the lives of any independent artist that touched it. Poets, small businesses associated with its making, or that, managed to say, oh, this is how you do this hairstyle. Or, hey, I'm the one who made that. I'm the one who made that outfit for her. It dramatically changed people's lives, right? I mean, let alone the conversation it sparked online. Oh, baby, we're talking about race, gender, class, the works, right? Geography. There's entire curriculum in actual post-secondary institutions, and the good ones, okay, that are dedicated to studying the nuances of Lemonade. That curriculum, that work, that study, it still stands today, right? We have a word for that. It's called canon. Now, Taylor Swift's The Life of a Showgirl, we call that canon fodder, right? Which takes us to where we need to be. Because in this, right, in that comparison, I didn't bring that up casually. There's always this weird tension of the Beyonce versus Taylor Swift thing. It's annoying because not only do both of them not want to be involved in that dumbass conversation, but well, one is a life, once in a lifetime, once in a generation sort of talent, right? And the other is Taylor Swift. And that's not to disregard or denigrate Taylor Swift's work, but you have to also look at consistency, cultural impact, the values that you represent, the quality of your arc and your art overall, which takes us right where we need to be, because always there's been this racial undertone, right? That's existed around Taylor Swift. It's why it's her weird fan base. It's why Beyonce always gets brought up. You can't be a whole nignog, little niglet writing online. I love Beyonce. She's one of the best, without a Swiftie being like, what about Taylor Swift? What about Taylor Swift? Right? I'm going to tell you why that is. We brought it up earlier. It's that Taylor Swift has perfected the perpetual white girl victim brand, and why Swifties are bailing on her now or asking a lot of questions is because That white girl victim brand is incongruent with the actual power this grown-ass billionaire holds, right? And I want to be really clear about something now. Get beat red, because I want to be really clear about this. This is a very intentionally cultivated brand, okay? This white girl victim brand, with its insidious racial undertones, this is what allows Taylor Swift to maintain her innocence while her toxic and rabid fan base use whatever means possible, including racism, to defend her from the nothing that is attacking her at all times, right? It is this very cultivated white girl victim brand that has been weaponized against Beyonce, Black artists as general, her fans, their fans, and anyone Black or otherwise that dares criticize or even ask questions about Taylor Swift's practices, right? It's this very cultivated white girl victim brand that makes it so hard for Black Swifties to fully exist within her fan base. For to be a Taylor Swift fan is to tacitly and actively co-sign on a set of practices and beliefs that ultimately allows white women to highlight their own oppression while upholding the very systems that create that oppression in the first place. And for many Swifties, they can no longer unknow what they know. They're too smart. They know too much, right? They can no longer participate in the perpetual white girl victim, girl Peter Pan bullshit while an act of genocide is happening in Palestine funded by American dollars. They can no longer participate in the girl Peter Pan bullshit when racism is literally legally acceptable in America, right? They can no longer participate in this girl Peter Pan bullshit when people are being thrown in the fucking meat grinder and families are being torn apart and the National Guard is being deployed on anybody who has an alternative opinion in any way, shape, or form. And the thing that does kind of make me laugh, though, is like this moment for them, right? This moment, this awakening is all because the bitch's album was bad. I like nothing else. It wasn't these other things. It took was a bad album. We should have got Travis Kelce in the picture sooner. Right? Oh my God. That's all it took. That was the breaking point. You're welcome, like come. But well, I'm glad she sucks. Look, the next thing could be better. But I don't care about Taylor Swift's work, whether it's good or bad or, better or worse. It's what she represents. And I'm interested in you. I'm interested in the people. We need to be better. We can no longer pretend, right? We can no longer pretend that the artist is separated from their art or what it represents or who loves it. I mean, how can we look at the manosphere, right? Or look at the GOP or Trump's administration and see an unbelievably, overwhelmingly white male, right? Influence, weaponization, right? Framing. And then say, well, not over here, though. It doesn't make sense, does it? We can't keep pretending because the stakes are simply too high, right? It's just that simple. The stakes are too high. And, it does piss me off because there's I saw all the people. I don't like people that much, I like, I don't know, conceptually, but maybe not. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I don't like crowds. Okay. I don't like being in crowds. That took me a long time to get there. I don't know why. I have a problem with vulnerability. So, but I like seeing how excited people are to go to these concerts, whether it was, Cowboy Carter or Eras, right? Whereas I remember there's this girl who had a whole fucking blanket over her head and put on sunglasses on top of it and did an interview because she called out sick to work. I love that shit. And it bothers me that the stakes are so high they weren't supposed to be, but it's because the people in power, right, including people like Taylor Swift, simply did not use their power well. They didn't reinvest. They didn't give back. And I'm sorry, but sending some cookies to some random fucking fans isn't what that looks like. It's just exploitation. It's extraction, pure and simple. It's just late stage capitalism. And honestly, ChatGPT could have wrote better fucking lyrics than that. That's sad, right? It was about getting the product out. It wasn't about the fans. It wasn't about the art. It was about the money. And this is what moments like this reveal. So I have now dedicated an entire episode to this because I think that it's a moment. It's a moment where we can say, okay, who do I want to be in this fucking time? How do I want to show up? Because the art that we participate in, the work that we participate in, and the people that we represent, it is a reflection of who we are and what we believe, right? It's not the entirety of you, but it matters. It's significant. And it matters now more than it ever did, at least generationally speaking. So, I mean, I have talked about this with such seriousness, but I can't tell you how much I have fucking laughed at this whole thing. It's been, I've listened to white girls with lisps and braces and ponytails, and they have just been ethering other white girls. Oh, Sula felt some kind of way. Yeah, you're okay, Sula. But that's the thing. That's what it sounded like. They just ethered each other. And that is the type of white on white crime I can get behind. I really can. I can get behind it. But at this stage in the game, right? At this stage in the game, is Taylor Swift, right? Is Taylor Swift someone who is going to actually do her fucking job, stop taking money from the fans, start giving back to the people, to the economy, challenge the fucking status quo, do something, because that is an expectation that we should have at this point. And hiding behind this very thin veneer of an innocent, bitch, you're 35. Do you know what I mean? You're 35. You're not Orphan Annie. You're like Macbeth's wife. All right? Influencing things. You are the power structure. I just don't know how else to say it. Being a woman doesn't make that untrue. And now I'm ranting, so I better just hop off. We were going to talk about so many things, and there's so many things to talk about. There's so many things to talk about. National Guard being deployed in attempts in Chicago, which was successful. Or how about it being attempted to be deployed in Oregon? Whatever is thought to be a liberal city, because the Trump administration wants to target their enemies. Has Taylor Swift said anything about that? Anything at all? So what was the whole point of that little clip in the documentary about how upset with her father she was? Or, right, her dick is bigger than all these other people now, right? That is not feminism. That's just hyper-individualism masquerading as feminism. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all it ever was. Okay, well, doing this pop culture stuff is newer to me, but as Corey has mentioned, wonderful producer on this show, I did it all the time. That's all we talk about. But for some reason, it just felt deeply unserious. But I realized that only the lyrics are. This is where a lot of people come to understand politics and their participation in politics, whether they understood it or not. So I don't know, all the Swifties out there who have disillusioned, I'm like, well, welcome home, bitch. You all have finally caught up to what Black people have known this entire time. Get on the good side. So this has been another episode of Dark Woke. Back to the revolution. We got things to do, but I cannot believe, I did not expect watching these white girls fight each other has been like watching the ice caps collapse. Like it's just been just shells just dropping into the ocean. It's just, which honestly, it's exactly what Taylor Swift's carbon footprint does to the environment anyway. Okay, goodbye. Okay, go. Thank you so much. I love y'all. Thank you so much for listening to Dark Woke. Shout out to Corey, our lead producer, and shout out to Wit, who makes all the things look good because this mug needs help. Most importantly, shout out to you, all of you out there who listen and make this show possible. Thank you so much.